Great.
Hi, I'm Nolan Baker, owner of America's Retirement Headquarters and the Retirement Guys Formula. I'm down here in Jupiter Beach, Florida, and I'm blessed today to be joined by Coach Mike Jarvis. And Coach, welcome in.
It's great to be here, Nolan. Nice to welcome you to sunny, beautiful Florida.
I love it down here. It's a great, relaxing spot to be. Beautiful weather, beautiful beach, and great company to be surrounded with as well. Most of you that are watching today probably are familiar with Coach Mike Jarvis. For those of you that maybe aren't, he is an NCAA basketball coach. He's also an author. He's one of the, and I think the only coach to win 100+ games, both in high school and also 100+ games at 3 universities. He's been an analyst in the past at ESPN, Fox, Fine Sports, among just a variety of other different places he's been on as well. So great experience. Today we're going to spend just a couple of minutes and going to be talking to you about the importance of having your own coach. So somebody to help kind of mentor you and getting your financial goals and dreams lined up so you can make a slam dunk, if you will, on hitting what those dreams are for you. And I guess maybe we'll just jump right into it. If you think about some of the things, in your coaching years of experience, what would you say would be some of the characteristics to becoming the leading coach that you have been?
Well, first of all, I just want to say this right off the bat. I was blessed. I had great mentors, great coaches that taught me really how to coach. People like my college coach, Dick Dukeshire, Tom Sack Sanders, former Celtic that I coached with at Harvard, and then Red Auerbach himself, the general manager and coach of the Celtics. Those guys really taught me what coaching was all about and what were some of the things that you needed to do to become a head coach. And I learned from them that if you can't teach the game and you don't really know the game and you can't break it down so that your kids understand it and then execute it, you're never going to be able to win.
Yeah, it's so true. And in my practice as a financial professional, really what I try to do is help coach and mentor clients, how to get set up, prepared for transitioning and enjoying a really great retirement. And, it's putting all of those things together to make it happen. If you think about the coaching experience, it's a lot of the same fundamentals, if you will. Would you maybe touch on briefly, what do you think are some of the fundamentals to create a successful coaching program?
Well, I think first of all, you have to have, I think fundamentally you got to be passionate, really love what you do. Second of all, you've got to establish relationships so that people trust you and people have faith in you, just like you want to have faith and trust in them. So it becomes a real team, a real family thing, and I think that you're building a family, you're building a relationship, and that you just can't overemphasize how important that is. And like I said, you got to keep it simple so that people understand it, and then you can build upon that.
That I would agree. We've been blessed to have some wonderful families that we take care of that we've grown together and got an opportunity to get to know their hopes, dreams, desires, and build that trust and build that relationship together with them as well. Once we get to kind of figure out who they are, what they're looking for, what their dreams are, the next step is we really begin to kind of set some goals, right? Because you have to have goals. That goal could be winning, right? But let's break that down a little bit further as well. Do you have any feedback that you would say on maybe ways to set goals?
Well, first of all, I think number one, your goals, they've got to be high, but they've also got to be attainable. We've all heard that. But a lot of people don't do that. They set goals so far above what their abilities are. Everybody's got different abilities, just like everybody's got a different amount of money. So I can't have a goal to retire and earn $10,000 a week if I've only got, so many dollars in my portfolio. So my goals have to be high, but they've got to be realistic. I've got to be honest with myself as to what my worth is, what my talent level is if I'm an athlete, and then I got to work with that. But once again, goals a lot of times can, for some people, they think that if they don't reach their goal, and they don't reach it right away, they have failed. And one of the things I always try to teach is that the only time you lose is when you don't learn, because we can take maybe a little bit of downturn, and we can eventually turn that into upturn, and we can eventually go from the bottom to the peak.
I would agree. I had an opportunity to look at, obviously all the career highlights and everything that you've done, so it doesn't seem like it ever really happened too often, but sometimes if you have a tough game, things aren't going in the right direction, maybe you feel like you're losing, or maybe it's a tough season. In those times, how do you keep, as the coach, your team still really excited and plugged in about getting back on track and getting back to winning?
Well, I had a Little League coach that, we didn't lose much, but when we did, the next day in practice, we worked harder than we ever worked before. And one of the lessons he taught me is that when you have times that are not so good, you go back to the drawing board, you go back to the basics, and you basically start to remember and review and do the things that you did when you were being successful. People get sometime to a point, and I myself have been guilty of this, you start winning, you start doing well, and all of a sudden you start to take it for granted, and you stop working at it. So it's something that you have to work at every single day. And one of the sayings that I always have, and I'll probably share, is every day is game day. Every day is game day. Every day you got to go to work, get there early, work until the job is done, but get the job done.
I would completely agree with that. And I know there's some people probably watching it today that aren't currently working with our firm, aren't really familiar, and maybe they don't even have a financial coach, if you will. I think in my experience, no matter how successful an investor is and how comfortable that they think they have things put together, I think at the end of the day, I would say everybody still needs a coach.
I know I do. You bet your life. And I think, once again, I think people sometimes, we forget that. And we start to think that, it's all about us. And we know everything. And that's when we're most vulnerable for maybe some bad experiences and bad times. So everybody does need a coach. Everybody needs somebody that's going to speak truth to them. But they also need that person to speak that truth with love, and to speak it with kindness, so that they can really hear what that person's trying to say. And that means that the person delivering the message has got to really be thoughtful about what they're saying and how they say it.
I would agree. And I think, unfortunately, we're just about out of time. And what I would say to that is, if you're watching today, you're looking to maybe have a personal financial coach, I'd love to have a conversation with you. Again, Nolan Baker from America's Retirement Headquarters, also with the Retirement Guys Formula. We'd be happy to connect with you. One of the other things that we've got available for you today that Coach Mike Jarvis has is he has his book. It's Everybody Needs a Head Coach. I have a limited supply of these as well. So for any of you that are watching today, if you'd like to get a copy of this book signed by Coach Mike Jarvis, all you need to do is just reach out to us at the office. We'd be happy to get you a copy. You can contact us at the office at 419-842-0550, or you can email me at nolan@retirementguysnetwork.com. You can hear the rest of the story that Coach Mike Jarvis lays out on why everybody needs a head coach. But Coach Mike, thanks so much for joining me today.
Hey Nolan, this was my pleasure. Trust me, and I wish I had about another 10 million I could invest with you.
There you go. It's good to be in your town. It's good to be here in West Palm Beach, and thank you so much for tuning in today. We look forward to talking to you soon.